a cubic polynomial fx. So this fx, which is not given to you, you know is cubic. Now what do you mean by cubic polynomial? It means that the highest power here is x power 3. And of course there has to be a constant here. It can be 1, 2 or some decimal, whatever. And another constant, then another constant, and lastly the so-called constant term. So it must be like ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay. Now this polynomial has a remainder of minus 5 when you divide it by this. So when you sub in minus 1, you should get this. Okay, and here it has a remainder of 7 when you divide it by x minus 2. So when you sub in x equals to 2 to all the x, you will get 7 for this particular value. So if you were to do this, what I'm doing now, you can only get 2 equations. 2 equations will not allow you to find all the 4 unknowns A, B, C, D. And there's no way you can compare or do anything here. So what should you do for this particular question? It is a question that's testing you on your concept. You see, they ask you to find the remainder when fx is divided by this. Okay, so if you try to find the cubic equation, you try and divide by this, you will fail because there is no way you can find your A, B, C, D with only 2 equations. So how do you do this question then? You have to understand that this x squared minus x minus 2 is actually made up of this times this. So of course your algebra must be good enough to realize that when you expand this, you will get this. Okay, you don't believe, you can go and try it out. Alright. Sorry, I wrote wrongly. Okay, you go expand this. Okay, this times this, you go expand it, right? You will get this. Now, this is a hint to you that when you write it in this form, because now this is your divisor, right? You're trying to divide this by this, and your divisor, when you factorize it, is actually this. Okay, so I can actually write this as this, and you can see here, this is x, this is x. Your quotient, which you have no way of finding out, okay, you have no way of finding out, has to be a polynomial with only degree of 1. Maximum is 1. It cannot be x squared. Okay, because if it's x squared, then it breaks the so-called condition that this is a cubic polynomial, right? So the highest power of this has to be x. Yeah, but we're not interested in finding this x. I'm just trying to tell you that when you take this times this, okay, it may not be able to give you this, right? Okay, so you have to add a remainder ax plus b. How do I know that it is ax plus b and not ax squared plus bx plus c and not ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d? So how do I know that it's linear? Okay, what I'm asking is, how do I know that it's linear? Now, you know that it's linear because this, which is a divisor, okay, right here, when you take your quotient, something cubic, when you take your dividend divided by your divisor here, right? Don't you agree that you will stop when your whatever term is here, okay, whatever term is here is, let's say, x, then you cannot move anymore. Okay, you cannot take, let's say it's 2x, you cannot take this divided by this to give you the quotient, right? Then you will stop here. Or you will stop when it is, let's say, 2. Again, you cannot take this divided by this and then say it's 1 over x squared. You cannot. Okay, so you will stop once you reach something linear. Okay, now ultimately this a could be 0, this b could be 0, we don't know. That's why we put it as ax plus b first. Alright, so this is how you should approach this question, by writing it like that, writing fx like that. Why write like that? Because once you have written it like that, using the two clues that they have given you, they tell you that this gives a remainder of minus 5 when divided by x plus 1. This gives a remainder of 7 when divided by x minus 2. So you submit 2, submit minus 1, you'll get these two equations, which I am going to solve simultaneously. Very simple simultaneous equation. Okay, then you will get equation 2 minus equation 1. You'll get a equal 4, sub here to get your b. Okay, and the remainder will be this. A is 4, b is minus 1. So it's 4x minus 1.